Madame Collet, if I were your father, which fortunately I am not.
Welcome to Hollywood Secrets. Today, we're exploring the lives of 10 classic Hollywood stars who once dazzled audiences but eventually faded from the spotlight. These stars had their moment of fame, only to step away or be forgotten over time. We'll dive into their rise to fame, the reasons behind their fade, and what became of them after they left the Hollywood limelight. So, sit back and let's take a trip through Hollywood's forgotten legends. Vera Ellen, the dance sensation who vanished from the screen. Vera Ellen, a dazzling dancer and actress, rose to fame in the 1940s and 1950s, starring in beloved musicals like White Christmas and On the Town alongside Hollywood heavyweights such as Bing Crosby and Gene Kelly. Her graceful dancing and on-screen charisma made her a favorite of the era, but by the late 1950s, she had vanished from the big screen. Health issues, including a battle with anorexia, and the untimely death of her daughter led Vera Ellen to retreat from public life. After leaving Hollywood, she lived a quiet life, rarely making public appearances, leaving fans to wonder about her sudden exit from the spotlight. John Gilbert, the silent film idol who couldn't make the talkie transition. John Gilbert was one of the biggest stars of the silent film era, often paired with the legendary Greta Garbo in films like Flesh and the Devil and Love. Known for his good looks and passionate performances, Gilbert was expected to transition smoothly into talkies. However, his voice reportedly did not match the audience's expectations for his romantic image. His career swiftly declined, with some rumors suggesting studio politics played a role in his downfall. Gilbert's tragic decline is one of Hollywood's most well-known cautionary tales, and he passed away at just 38, leaving behind a legacy overshadowed by his abrupt fall from grace. Dorothy Stratton, a star cut down too soon. Dorothy Stratton was a beautiful young actress and model who captivated audiences with her roles in films like They All Laughed and Galaxina. Her career was on the rise in the late 1970s and early 1980s, and she was even named Playboy's Playmate of the Year in 1980. Tragically, her story came to a violent end when she was murdered by her estranged husband, Paul Snider, at the age of just 20. Stratton's potential for stardom was cut short, leaving fans to wonder what could have been had her life not been tragically taken from her just as her career was about to explode. Gloria Graham, the femme fatale who disappeared from the spotlight. Gloria Graham was a staple of classic film noir, known for her sultry, seductive roles in films like The Big Heat and In a Lonely Place. She won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role in The Bad and the Beautiful, but despite her early success, her career began to wane in the late 1950s. Graham's personal life, marked by tumultuous relationships and scandal, overshadowed her professional achievements. In her later years, she largely worked in theater and smaller films, fading from the public eye before passing away from cancer in 1981, far from the Hollywood limelight she once dominated. Montgomery Clift, the tragic leading man who slipped away. Montgomery Clift was one of the most talented and handsome actors of his generation, known for powerful performances in films like A Place in the Sun, From Here to Eternity, and Judgment at Nuremberg. His intense, method-style acting and sensitive portrayals made him a star in the 1950s. However, a horrific car accident in 1956 left him physically and emotionally scarred, and his career and personal life spiraled downward as he battled addiction. Though he continued to act, Clift never fully regained his former stature in Hollywood, and he died in 1966 at the age of 45, leaving behind a legacy of what might have been. Jean Tierney, the beauty who walked away from Hollywood. Jean Tierney was a stunning actress, known for her roles in Laura and Leave Her to Heaven. Her striking beauty and talent earned her a place among Hollywood's elite in the 1940s, but her personal life was marked by tragedy. After giving birth to a daughter with severe disabilities, Tierney suffered from mental health issues, including severe depression, which led her to take a step back from acting. She sought treatment and made a few comebacks in the 1950s and 1960s, but she ultimately chose to leave Hollywood behind to focus on her health and family, quietly fading from the spotlight. Lupe Velez, the Mexican Spitfire who burned bright and faded fast. Lupe Velez was a vibrant and fiery actress who lit up the screen in the 1920s and 1930s, earning the nickname the Mexican Spitfire. Known for her comedic talent and her roles in films like The Girl from Mexico, Velez's larger-than-life personality made her a beloved figure in Hollywood. However, her personal life was filled with turbulence, including highly publicized relationships and a tumultuous romance with actor Johnny Weissmuller. Sadly, Velez's career faltered in the 1940s, and she took her own life in 1944 at just 36 years old, leaving behind a legacy of brilliance tinged with tragedy. Frances Farmer, the starlet who fought Hollywood and lost. Frances Farmer was a rising star in the 1930s, known for her beauty and acting talent in films like Come and Get It and Rhythm on the Range. However, Farmer was outspoken about her disdain for the Hollywood system, and her rebellious nature clashed with the studio's strict control over its stars. Her career took a nosedive after a series of personal and legal battles, and she was eventually institutionalized. Farmer's mental health struggles and mistreatment by the Hollywood system led to her downfall, and though she attempted a comeback in the 1950s, she never regained her former stardom. Annabella, the French star who faded after a famous romance. Annabella was a French actress who became a star in Hollywood after appearing in films like Suez and Wings of the Morning. Her marriage to Hollywood icon Tyrone Power made her a tabloid fixture, but after their divorce in 1948, her career began to fade. Annabella's stardom was largely tied to her relationship with Power, and when that ended, her roles in Hollywood dried up as well. She returned to Europe, where she continued to act in smaller projects, but she never achieved the same level of fame she had during her Hollywood years. Alan Ladd, the golden boy who faded too soon. Alan Ladd was one of Hollywood's most popular leading men in the 1940s and 1950s, starring in films like Shane and This Gun for Hire. His cool, quiet demeanor made him a favorite of audiences, but behind the scenes, Ladd struggled with depression and alcoholism. As Hollywood shifted in the 1960s, Ladd's star began to fade, and his battles with addiction worsened. In 1964, he died of an accidental overdose at just 50 years old, leaving behind a career that could have continued to shine had he not been plagued by personal demons. And there you have it. These stars once lit up the screen, but for various reasons, their time in the spotlight came to an end. If you enjoyed this trip through Hollywood's forgotten icons, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more Hollywood secrets. Which story surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time on Hollywood Secrets.